Hi, I'm Dr. Arthur Annis of the Myrtle Grove Chiropractic and Acupuncture Center, and I'm going to be describing for you the tennis ball exercise. We've been using this exercise for more than 20 years and given it to many patients. People who do it are greatly rewarded. I'm sure you're all familiar with the postural changes that occur with aging, where people move forward and lose the tone of the muscles that are behind them. So by doing the tennis ball exercise on a daily basis, we can help ward off the eventual effects of aging and the postural decline that we see in the elderly. We're going to do this by treating trigger points. The muscles that are behind us, that in the back, legs, and so forth, and hip area, are called the anti-gravity muscles because they're working against gravity all day long. And because they're working against gravity, eventually certain areas are going to be overused, and when they do, they go into a little muscle spasm that we call the trigger point. Trigger points are about the size of a dime and can occur anywhere in a muscle, particularly though the bellies and the ends of the muscles. And we want to treat these on a daily basis to prevent them from becoming permanent scar tissue. So the way these form is the muscle fibers, the muscles work like this. They contract by fibers sliding across each other. When the muscle becomes overused and too fatigued, they contract and they become stuck that way. And the contraction is so powerful that it will actually compress the capillaries that are supposed to be refreshing that muscle with blood, and it can't do it anymore, so the muscle can't heal, so it's a vicious cycle. So we're going to intervene in this vicious cycle by compressing that tissue with the tennis ball, which will flush the blood further into circulation and allow new blood to come in and nourish that muscle for healing. And this is something that takes a period of days and weeks to keep these muscles healthy and fresh, because we're always exposed to gravity. We're sitting on computers, we're doing our cell phones, we're always being stressed. And so it's important that we do this on a daily basis to get the kind of changes and to maintain the posture that we would like to have throughout our lifetime. So we're going to start by working with the neck. We're going to start with the tennis ball at the junction between the head and the neck. We're going to roll it around. Then once we feel the most tender spot in that area, go ahead and apply pressure on it for at least 7 to 10 seconds. And that will allow the moving of the blood and allow fresh resources to come in and nourish that muscle. So once you've treated that, we're going to move on and roll along until we find another tender spot. Go ahead and press on that for 7 to 10 seconds. Now this will hurt, but it should hurt good. And if you're doing this properly, it's almost addictive, where you want to keep it going and so forth. It's not the more pain the better. You're looking for that sort of happy harmony feeling of like, oh yeah, that hurts good, and you feel like you're really, like a good therapeutic massage would be, when it feels like you're really releasing the toxins and so forth. You're looking for that feeling. And sometimes you'll even get a referred pain. So like, for example, when you're pressing on this area back here, you could feel pain moving up toward the eyeball. And in other areas, you will feel what we call referred pain, which is letting you know that that trigger point is very serious and it needs more attention. Anyway, once we finish this area across our neck, we're going to work across the top of our shoulders here. And we don't need our hands anymore. We're just going to lean against the wall. And as I do this, I will find the tender spot and just go ahead and apply the pressure on it. And we're just going to work across that whole top. So we're going to work here, we're going to work across here, we'll work these ridges of the muscles, and by the time we get down to the bottom, we're going to do the butt muscles. We're going to kind of work out at an angle and try and work out the knots in those as well. So I recommend you do this every day. I think you'll enjoy it. If you do it properly, you'll feel better right away. And if you do it consistently, you'll have better posture throughout your entire lifetime.